from the News Channel 5 Network. This is Que Pasa Nashville.
Bienvenidos and welcome to Que Pasa Nashville. My name is Cristina Allen and thank you for joining me. I'm excited to talk to my next guest here. It's Kinsey Emery and she's with the Tennessee State Fair. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you, Christina.
Love the State Fair. I am from the state of New Mexico, where the State Fair, you get big names in agriculture and rides, and now it's going to be here in Tennessee this September the 11th through the 20th. Is that correct?
That's right. We're back for our 109th year at the Tennessee State Fairgrounds right here in Nashville. And we're so excited to be back and celebrate all that Tennessee and the city of Nashville have to offer.
So, as any state fair, tell me what the excitement is about it. I mean, the agriculture, the rides. Give me a preview of what's going to be there.
Sure. Certainly we have the favorites, our rides, our agricultural events, creative arts, those types of things. But we also have what we're calling the Service Master, who's our sponsor. Restore presents a salute to first responders.
Oh, right.
And this exhibit will feature a 53-foot trailer. Folks will be able to tour the trailer. It's a 9/11 memorial from the Stephen Siller Tower to Tunnels Foundation. There are artifacts, live voice recordings from the attacks.
That's
right, yeah.
We just visited that in New York last summer, so yes.
It's awesome. And the tour is actually led by New York City firefighters.
Oh, that is giving me chills. So do you tie in with the local fire departments to be involved in it as well, somehow, because they're honoring them as well?
We do. We've reached out to a lot of the local departments. We'll have a lot of emergency vehicles on site, some that are new and have all the greatest techniques, and some that are antiques that have been restored.
So in the past, and I know it changes every year, but I remember the motorcycle inside the big cage. I mean, will something like that be back on site, or is that you have different touring stuff?
We have lots of exciting entertainment. We always have our racing pigs, which is a favorite.
Yes.
We have our Kenya Safari Acrobats, which is just a great show. There's 4 to 5 guys that climbing all over the place. It really gets a crazy show, crazy group going. We also have our Great Lakes logging competition.
Tell me about that. I remember that.
Okay, so these guys are going to get on the big logs in the water. They're going to run. They're going to use their chainsaws to carve up some really neat things, and it's a really great family entertainment. It's family friendly, and the shows just couldn't be more entertaining.
So as we look at the state fair, and we're going to kind of break it down, I want to talk a little bit about the agriculture. It's still the state fair with the kids come in for 4-H or farming to bring in their animals for show. Tell me a little bit about that aspect of the fair.
Sure. We have animals at the fair actually prior to opening day, getting ready for their shows through the all 10 days of the fair. We have a barn tours led by some of our FFA students from right here in Middle Tennessee.
Future Farmers of America
That's
students.
right.
Yes,
that's
I know
right.
What that means.
And some of those groups are from right here in Nashville. So come on out and see our local Nashville kids, and they'll take you on a tour of all the barns. They'll show you the cattle, the chickens, rabbits. Those are always favorites.
My favorites are the rabbits, the long hair rabbits or the big hair. I mean, it is a very nice experience because you can escape from the city life and you are there with the culture. You can walk through the barn, you can touch some of the animals. You see the kids who are showing their animals sleeping next to their animals because they're trying to get a ribbon for those animals. What kind of competitions are there?
Sure. So we have our dairy cattle, beef cattle, and those kids, they work really hard keeping their areas clean and keeping their animals clean during their shows. We also have dairy goats and, of course, meat goats.
And that's the whole purpose of the state fair, is to bring these children back for agriculture, Future Farmers of America, and to show the beauty of our rural community, our farming community. Do we have a lot of agriculture as well, displaying like the biggest tomato?
We do. We have we have lots of tomatoes. We have giant pumpkins and watermelons. Those are always on display, and really get up hundreds of pounds of pumpkin sitting there. It's really neat to see.
And I think I also enjoy, as when I take my children, and I still go every once in a while, is the arts and crafts of the community. You'll see the quilts. Kind of let me know a little bit about that.
Sure. So this year, as in the last 2 years, we have some live demonstrations happening in our Creative Arts building. We have wood turners, hand weavers, and clay artists.
So really hands-on people doing things that you can watch and
Absolutely.
see.
And you can ask questions and learn to do those things.
Can I buy homemade honey?
Possibly. I think we can.
So, as a state fair, those were always the highlights for the to show, but of course the midway is the big thrill. So kind of give me some idea how the midway, I know it's a $5 gate admission, but the main thing that you can go to Kroger and get a $20 ride wristband.
Right.
That's the big thing right there.
Yes, both of those prices are good only at Kroger. We have 3 midway sections this year. We've scaled that up from 2, so we're very excited about that. And we also have great food that's coming in this year. And we have a deep fried Tennessee trailer that Tennessee FFA is hosting.
And what are they going to deep fry? Twinkies?
Actually, yes, Twinkies is one of those items. Some chocolate truffles and some jalapeno poppers, and they're just being so creative with the items they're coming up with for that.
So we have the great food, we have the animals, and we have the rides. Is there any new rides that we never heard about? Are we going to have the spider and the swings and the typical Ferris wheel? We
have all of the favorites. The Ferris wheel, that's always everyone's favorite. They can see the lights of Nashville. Last year we introduced a water flume ride, so we hope to introduce something new like that again this year.
Well, that's going to be exciting. As you continue to evolve a state fair, because it is once a year, so it is a highlight for most people, and my children go to it and they love it. What are you doing different? I mean, let's talk a little bit of the international. We're going to be bringing in to talk about several initiatives about your international as the demographic shifts in Middle Tennessee, especially on the corridor in Nolensville where you are located, and that whole area has changed in demographics. We're mostly Latinos, but really a global community.
Absolutely.
What are you guys doing? I understand there's an International Day, Festival of Nations.
That's right. We're partnering with the Festival of the Nations, and we actually have all 10 days of the fair. We're celebrating many different cultures. There's a stage committed to that. And then on our final day of the fair on September 20th, we'll actually have our Hispanic Day, where we'll have lots of events happening.
And we're going to bring in Wendy Silva, the General Manager of El Jefe, to talk about that. So within the fair, you're going to have different stages that have a variety of different ethnic performances. You know, banjo performance, I mean everything, right?
Yes, we have 5 stages, and it's live performances on every stage all 10 days at the fair.
And that's new this year. Have you always had it separate, that specific day, or now you're incorporating it into the whole?
We introduced the Hispanic Day in 2014, and we're really vamping that up this year, and so it's going to be throughout the fair rather than in one small portion of the fair.
And we're going to continue talking about that, Kinsey. We're going to be right back to talk with Wendy Silva, who's the General Manager of El Jefe, and we're going to be having Fiestas Patrias, a special day during the state fair throughout the whole week, but about Latino communities. So join us right back with Que Pasa Nashville.